Hello. Welcome back to Tifosi Time. This is episode 40 of your favorite Serie A podcast. My name is Frank. I'm here with Chris, Dan, and Pietro. We are streaming live on Twitch, YouTube, and by popular demand by all our listeners that are fully sighted, we now have audio only version on Spotify. Where else? Google Podcast, Apple, pretty much anywhere it streams. Our producer's telling us. So, if you have the option, listen to us. Don't watch us, especially if you've just eaten. But welcome back. If you have not subscribed, please do so. It makes us feel good. And that's all that really matters in this. So, here we go, guys. Let's go. We have a lot to talk about. Euro 2020, crazy day today. Why don't we start off with the biggest upset with France going out in penalties to Switzerland. Let's hash this one out.
Yeah, it was definitely the most entertaining day of the entire tournament, right? We finally got the first real upset, and then both games were just really entertaining. 3-3 France, and then it went to penalty shots. And who misses it? Mbappe, one of the biggest stars in the world. Rumored to go to Real Madrid, rumored to do this, do that, and then he, it was a pretty terrible penalty shot, if I'm being honest. But it was. I mean, it makes Italy's road a little easier if they get past Belgium. But,
yeah, I know we're gonna get to Italy, but like I was telling you guys when we were watching it, like I think the winner is of the whole tournament is gonna be from the Belgium-Italy game. I think that they're gonna win the whole thing. And like all those people saying Italy didn't play anyone good, well, guess what? They beat Switzerland 3-0, and they just beat France.
Well, let me say this. So for anyone that's actually was listened to a couple episodes ago, if you remember, I was worried about Switzerland, right? Because after the first game, I said, you know what? I think the way they're built and if they play the right game, they can give Italy a hard time. In that game, Italy outclassed them basically for 85 minutes. We held the ball. Switzerland did not counter, did not play good defense. We won 3-0. Today was one of those perfect games in a way because they held their own. This wasn't just luck, right? In fact, if it wasn't for the missed penalty by Switzerland, they should have been up 2-0. And at that point, I think it would have really snapped France's will, right? Until that save penalty, that's what woke France up with the save penalty. And then all of a sudden, they scored 2 goals in 90 seconds to go ahead 2-1, right? But Switzerland's not a bad team, and
ex-Milan player Ricardo Rodriguez with the terrible penalty shot, which he's good at those. That's why he takes them. But it was just a really bad.
He
shot.
had a horrible 10 minutes after that. He was guarding.
He played good. Altogether, he played good.
I didn't have confidence when he was taking that. I think I said to Chris, he's missing this, and he missed it.
It wasn't a good shot at all.
Yeah. But their forwards played so strong. Like they even took out like their starters, and the guys who replaced them just kept like it felt like they were running way past all the French defenders. Like their endurance and stamina and just overall.
Yeah, you say about the forwards, forwards, more or less there was nothing for France. In other words, with each pass they were get to the ball all the time. So there was no midfield and no good defense from France.
Oh, yeah, for sure. France did not have a good game. They had a good 20 minutes or so. Like, they didn't play a good game.
They let them pass whatever they want to.
That
wasn't ever intercepted anything.
The third goal is a prime example. It's just a through ball straight through the center of the field, and no one pressing on the forward, and it's an easy shot.
And listen,
the defense is weak.
I don't know this Zuber guy at all, so I'm not going to pretend that I've been following him or I know how he plays. But for today's game, he gave you the poor man's version of Spinazzola and Gosens. He was they could not stop him on the left.
I think the other game did he have 3 assists or something?
Zuber.
Yeah, he's playing really well. I don't know much about him either.
He's 29. He's not like he's young. I looked him up, but he made a difference. I mean, in terms of France's midfield.
Forward. He wasn't on defense.
No, he wasn't a forward.
No, the left back he's talking about.
He's the left back. No, he was on the left. Left wing, yeah. But he made runs 50 yards with speed, beating people with strength.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't fast.
Yeah. I mean, he was.
You notice one thing when he got the penalty, he got up Usually people stay. They stand like they're there. He got up. He tried to.
Yeah, I was impressed
And
with
the
him.
ref was good to give it the penalty anyway.
It was the right call.
No, it was definitely a penalty. Yeah, they had to go to VAR to give it to him. I thought it was pretty obvious.
Yeah, but he didn't fake it. He didn't do anything. Like he tried to get up and go.
Yeah, I was impressed with him.
Which is unusual by a player.
Yeah, nowadays, unfortunately. I mean, even
nice to see.
Even in Bolo, right? Like he wasn't that dangerous because he was so far back helping the midfield a lot of times, but he would win the ball. He would win the ball and end up being dangerous, right? He wasn't in like a shooting position a lot of times. But
like always, right? Like I say, everything is relative because the forwards from Switzerland, they look all phenomenal. And this is in part, they did good because France didn't play well. I mean, the French defense sucked there.
Yeah, well, they had hurt players, right? They were switching formation.
Yeah, I mean, they went to three in the back with three center backs, which isn't really how they usually play, and you can tell like they weren't strong. All three of them weren't strong.
But let's think about this game, right? From Switzerland, the underdog. They get the first goal. They get the first goal. Then they go. They're minutes away from going up 2-0 because of penalty. They miss it, and they collapse entirely. And next thing you know, you blink. France plays 15 good minutes, and they're up 3-1. Right? For them to come back is like horrible by France to let them come back, but that shows a ton of fight in Switzerland. They didn't give up. In fact, when the coach made the sub, he took out Embolo and Zuber, and I was like, why are you taking them out? Like, put an extra forward, keep them in. And they ended up working out for them, right? But like to fight back in the 90th minute and score, and they had chances, by the way. They had other chances to score. The first half of overtime was a great game back and forth too. We're just a really overall good, entertaining game for sure.
Yeah, but the forwards still they play too good. Even the people that went out, and Paul and the other guy. It looked like the coach knew the people that came in and they would play better.
Yeah, whereas Deschamps took out Griezmann, puts in Sissoko, more of a defensive thing because he's up 3-1. You don't blame him for doing that, but that his subs backfired more than.
Well, Deschamps made good subs. The only question I have is Coleman should have came in earlier.
He played good. That was a good sub, right?
Yeah, but he should have came in earlier.
Well, same thing with we're going to get to Italy, but Chiesa should have been in at halftime.
Yeah.
So,
I feel bad for Deschamps, right? I mean, look, these tournaments are never easy. Switzerland, and listen, if Switzerland plays like that, I'd say right now they beat Spain. The question is, can they play two games in a row like that?
It's going to be tough because both those teams both went to extra time. Like they're tired.
I guess Italy didn't look that good.
No,
they didn't. That's why I'm impressed by it, right? Because like they team with the right mentality. They said, we're big underdogs. It's a one game. Let's go play it. They didn't close themselves in and let France play.
Props to them, man. The tournament favorite are out. Like, I think Deschamps is going to be gone.
I like it from Switzerland. The center defense.
Yeah, you said that number 5, right?
They play well. Okay.
Akanji.
Akanji, the other guy,
Elvedi. Yeah.
They all played the ball pretty well in terms of the ball at their feet too. Like it wasn't like a black hole when it got to Switzerland's defense. They all can play the ball pretty well. Freuler played probably his best game in the tournament. It wasn't like always there, but he played a good game.
There was the guy from Atalanta.
Freuler. Yeah.
Yeah, the second half he didn't do nothing. He disappeared.
No, he disappeared. But think about the midfield he was going against, right? Conte and Pogba and all these huge stars.
Conte didn't do well.
No, he didn't.
Usually played bad.
So to me, if you don't see Conte just making that means the team as a whole is doing a decent job.
Yeah, I mean, Pogba had a nice goal, but I also blame him for that third goal.
Yeah, he gave away the ball.
So you saw the replay after that, and he looks at Rabio and what?
Oh yeah, he was blaming around. Like,
it's your fault.
Yeah, listen, he made a few passes. He scored his goal, right? But that's it is what it is. But France's defense is pretty weak, right? It's far from the days of Tudor.
You know what I think also?
Mm-hmm.
I like Rabiot to the way he played. I think he should get more involved in the game.
Well, they
He
were moving
started
the
out-
ball
What
around.
he had to do.
He started out
He should get more involved in the game.
Yeah,
in
but,
the beginning of the game. He was more involved, and then not so much as it went on.
well, in the beginning, he started off on the left, like and then he moved to the middle a little bit. Then he went back to the left.
He did the work the champ told him to do.
Yeah.
For be a midfield, they should get more into the game.
Well, we've said it. Like
Play the ball.
Fabio has all the tools to be really good. He's tall, he's strong, he's quick. Like he can pass. He's got some skill. He's got a rocket for a shot, but like he just has to put it together.
Yeah.
When you try for the shot, he should be more convinced.
Exactly, because he's capable of doing it. We've seen it.
Yeah.
He score from
Yeah.
outside.
He can only use 1 foot, but yeah.
Well, that's the down point.
And
But,
listen, let's not lie too. Like the goals that France scored were some nice individual plays. The one that Benzema took, the pass that was behind him, and he took
That
from behind
first
his first touch was
insane.
amazing
Yeah.
to make it 2-1. And like if that maybe he tries that 3 times, maybe 2 times, it doesn't come off that perfect, right? Like that was a bit of individual class for sure.
Coleman almost won it at the end in the 92nd minute.
I know that half volley off the crossbar, like
Off the crossbar, it's true.
Coleman, I would have put him into the second half too. But this is an expression. He looked like he wasn't happy. I don't let one player play with that happiness if I'm the coach.
Well, I mean, some people just express themselves differently. I don't know if
Yeah,
he's not happy. I don't know the guy,
Yeah.
No, like he was upset.
That's just his body language.
You have to understand in that formation, Coleman, he cannot pretend to play to line.
yeah. Listen, with the team they have, he's not going to get the minutes.
He have
that
a
he wants.
crazy man.
Yeah.
Benzema and Mbappe. So what do you want?
Yeah,
You cannot pretend to play to line.
I mean, he also came in and they were losing, weren't they? So like it could have just been the moment of the game too. He was focused. I don't know if he was happy or unhappy.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't in the locker room. We're not
Even
excited.
Giroud, he cannot play. He know where his place. He cannot play in Benzema plays.
Yeah. Well, the point is they have so many quality players, and they're expected to win. They're expected to win the whole thing, and for them to get knocked out this
To
early,
me, in a certain way, right? I mean, I guess everything is so equal for all the coach. Today, to me, I wouldn't mind to take off Mbappe. He didn't do nothing, Mbappe, today.
he didn't have a good tournament at all.
So they let him like even Ronaldo. He can do the play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you're a coach, you're going to live and die with your stars, right? Unless he's hurt or whatever. Or
yeah.
can't
I mean,
play.
if he
but
took Mbappe, if he took
Sometimes it's what to kill you.
Yeah,
if he-
sometimes.
if he took Mbappe out in the 16th minute and lost, Deschamps would get crucified. So there's no way he can't do that. So
No, 15 minutes.
60 minutes, around.
He took out the Griezmann and Benzema.
Benzema's old, and Griezmann is not as good as Mbappe.
No, but
Yeah.
he could take him out too. So
I mean, I
that
think
will show the player they're all the same.
I think at the end of the day, what did France in, right, is they didn't play with it up. It's the same thing that we talk about Italy, right? Like they play with the slow tempo, and they weren't able to take over the midfield. And when Switzerland they defended well in numbers. They turned over, and then they were quick, right? Vertical passes, 5, 10, 15 yards, cut someone out into space.
You just mentioned Italy, which we go to the next game. We won, but we didn't play good at all.
No, we have plenty to say about that
And that
itself.
was Mancini's fault to me.
Well,
Because
we'll
he
go to
got
that.
a wrong formation in the beginning.
No,
I guess-
we'll go to that. Do you want to go to that now, guys, or do you want to
No,
go
no,
to? Let's go to Croatia. Let's go to Croatia, Spain. If we're done with France, any last thoughts on France?
No, I mean, I'm happy they didn't win because I want to see new teams winning. I don't want to see France win another tournament, so I'm happy that they lost.
Yeah, look, in tournaments like this, it's every game has its own story. You have a little bit of luck. You have to play well, right? And nothing's given to you just because you're the number one team or you're a favorite. And in fact, they haven't played good. Like even in the early rounds, like it's not like they dominated anyone.
Yeah, but you see how the group it's done. And we have the worst team on our side. But Belgium, if we beat them, we play Spain.
I think Switzerland has a chance to beat Spain.
Of course
I
they
do.
do. They just beat
I
France.
do too. Anyway, let's talk about the Spain-Croatia game because this is another crazy one that went into extra time, and Spain ended up scoring 2 goals in extra time.
I did see the game of Croatia.
Yeah, so eight goals in this game.
So okay, the first goal. Did you? If you guys didn't
before
see
the
it,
first goal,
Yeah.
the first 15 minutes, Spain was dominating shot after shot after shot after shot. Like they played strong in the first 15 minutes. Like in fact, that back pass to the goalie, like that just came right off of a Spain attack. So like they were.
They did. But it wasn't like they were hitting post or crazy saves or
No,
anything.
but they were getting
attacking. Yeah.
They were going forward.
Listen, the one goal they got, the goalie was Leash. What up?
That's the first.
The first goal was a pass
What
back from
happened to that? I never saw the game. I saw.
It was.
Like
It was.
Okay, let him explain.
It was about a back pass from like 45 yards away.
He went to.
He basically took his eye off the ball and missed the ball, hit his foot, and went into the net. It was pretty bad.
Listen, he should have trapped it. It wasn't the best pass back.
Oh, it was very, very.
It wasn't the best.
I mean, it was not hard.
He should have. He's a professional.
He took his eyes off the ball.
Yeah, he took his eye off the ball.
I had the something, and then they say after that he made good save.
Yeah,
he did. At the end of the game, he saved it. He made up for that mistake.
He did. But that was another crazy game because it was. Was it also 3-1 Spain on that, and then Croatia came back 2 goals in the last 15 minutes to tie it and send to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, when it was 3-3, I think, if I remember correctly, Pulisic had another chance that just missed, I think, to make it 4-3 Croatia in the final minutes before overtime. So another credit. It was a good game. It was back and forth. It was open. It was a really good game.
Props to those Atalanta players, man. They're having an awesome tournament.
Yeah, that's because they're good players.
Yeah.
And they're not too old, They're entering their prime, and not like Juventus players that are all leading the way in own goals.
So Atalanta, by the way, they have had 5 different goal scorers. It's tied for the most ever in a tournament from one team.
Really?
That's great, dude. That's
surprising.
Crazy.
So who is it? Pasalic.
Pasalic,
Pessina
score, I don't know. They've had 5 different. Oh, and Male, who's been playing really well.
Oh yeah.
So just shout out to them because we're big supporters a lot, and they're playing well. So I just want to mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so overall in that game, though, I didn't come away overly impressed with Spain, to be honest with you, because I think, Spain gave up a bunch of goals in one of the games in the group stage too, didn't they?
Listen, they haven't been playing well. With Spain, their biggest thing is that they weren't finishing. They did score 5 goals today, so that they were, they did finish. But Morata's the one who's been getting the brunt of it. Even his family getting death threats and stuff. It's ridiculous. But he did end up scoring one, and it was a crucial one.
But one of the reason that they exploited Croatia had that guy Gradiol, that 19-year-old defender. He had a horrible game. Like 2 or 3 of the direct goals were like his fault. One of the headers, like he didn't challenge. He was getting beat all the time, and he didn't take him out.
The left back you're talking about?
Yeah, and he didn't take him out till like later in the game, but he did not have a good game whatsoever.
You do have to give credit to Spain though, because they were up 3-1, and it sucks to give it up 3-3.
Yeah, these are not impressive.
No, but like I'm saying, like all the momentum was Croatia's, and then to just blow them out and over in extra time.
Was it a blowout though? God, I feel like it's been 2 weeks, but I watched it this morning.
They won by 2.
Yeah, I know, but I think if I remember the game, the first half of overtime, I think was back and forth. I'm pretty sure Spain's goalie made a couple of saves.
Spain's goalie made a very good save at the end of the game to make up for that own goal. He basically took a goal away, which was huge, the save that he made. I forget who that. I think that was on Pasalic. I don't remember.
It might
who
have been.
On, but it was a very good save. So yeah, Croatia still had chances. They scored 3 goals. They could have had 4, but in the end, Spain did score 5. So offensively, they were able to do what they haven't been able to do. really all tournament, and what they've been criticized for is scoring goals. And for me, we're Juventus fans, whatever, but like Morata, to see him score, I just it was good to see him score because
Yeah.
he's getting
Happy
so much crap,
Yeah.
But it does make the two games, the results, Switzerland, Spain now, which
Spain, to be in a way, they look like Juventus. They just have a Morata. We have, if we take Ronaldo out, we just have Morata. We need somebody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their weakness is
just
definitely
one.
forward depth for sure.
Well, I think really my thing is they have to control the ball, right? If they have the ball at their feet, and you let them play, they can score 5 goals on you, right? They're going to get chances. Whether they take them or not, depending on the day, that's going to depend. But so if Switzerland's going to have a chance, what they need to do is play them the way they play France. Don't sit back 30 yards in your own half and let them play. Turn them over, go the other way, and run at their defenders. And I think you're going to challenge them.
Trey, what take us to another? If we talk about Switzerland and we compare the game they did with France and the game they did with us, so the truth is in the middle all the time.
Yeah.
With us, they do nothing.
Well, they didn't let him do it.
It's us. We didn't let them do anything.
I think if Switzerland plays like they played today against Spain, I think they beat Spain.
Yeah, me too.
I think
I remember having this conversation right after Switzerland played the first game, and I was saying, listen, Switzerland could give Italy a hard time, and they did it on that day. To Daddy's point, if they show up and let Spain play, they could lose 3-0 too, right? But if things go right and they give them a hard time, I think they can put Spain under pressure. They can score, and then
because today they start with the France. Switzerland look like a team.
Yeah.
The defense look like the defense.
Mm-hmm.
With us, they look a team, but they don't look the defense.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see. It's not going to be a cakewalk.
The truth. And go back to Italy. The 10 game we did, the last game, we played bad. And that was Mancini's fault.
Okay, we're not. Yeah.
We're gonna go to Italy in a minute.
Yeah, one thing led to another. How can give you an example?
All right, we'll give me the example. That goes to we didn't play Switzerland in the third game, did we?
Connect to the teams.
We didn't play Switzerland in the third game, did we? I think it was the second game, right?
Second game, yeah.
I think we played Switzerland in the second game.
Yeah. Anyway, we can move on to Italy if you want. Go ahead.
You see, sometimes I connect. To give an example, I hate to go from one game to another.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
What are we talking about now? Italy?
Why you think Austria played that well? They say he played physically that well, but more or less, I think we didn't play well. Not them. They play well.
I think we agree with you.
First of all, I don't think when you have a formation that play well, you don't switch. Even the name is Verratti.
Yeah.
You leave him out. He coming from injured.
Listen, exactly what we said that we were hoping that. Remember, we asked on the last show, do we think Mancini's going to do exactly? Do we think he's going to put Verratti in,
we knew.
or do we? And I think we were split, right? I think I said, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he won't do it.
I said Verratti.
Oh, we knew. I knew how you would put him on.
Yeah, and he did. Yeah, and it changed. It changed how we played.
See, they say that the team that win, it's the team that physically stay better than the other. Now, in order to have a team that physically will connect, you have to put the right people. As a matter of fact, when Chiesa come in, Pessina come in, the team will change. And this change, even you made a mistake that you start Verratti, you should make the change around the 34 at the first half because you saw the team suck.
Well, he's not going to make a sub that early.
Well, no, I think this goes back to, again, like, I think coaches don't get enough blame for not starting the right team from the beginning, because it
Right.
sounds like, I'm just swapping out Locatelli and putting Verratti. Well, it
the
changed
coach
everything.
has to be coach. He has to know what he's doing. Because I tell you why. You have a 5 substitution. Now, if you notice your team doesn't play well, you have to do something to change. You cannot wait someone to get injured, to switch. You have to see where we don't play well. And you have the bench. That's why you have the bench.
He made the right subs. He just made them too late.
You made him too late. In the same token, though, I don't really expect the coach to sub someone out in the 40th minute. Like, nobody does it. They don't manage the game like that.
How long you expect to see Berardi's nice game?
Halftime.
It's a nice game.
Yeah.
Halftime, I would have touched.
I think halftime was fair in the 50th minute. I think he definitely was fair. Like, Berardi stayed in way too long. It wasn't his day. For sure. Locatelli came in he didn't. I think Pessina came in before Locatelli, right? So so Locatelli didn't come in, I think, till the 70th minute or something.
Go from there. If the midfield was playing good with Locatelli, your Jorginho and Barella, why you squeeze? Since it was Berratti that coming from injury. You just squeeze.
That's what we said, but I don't know. He chose to make the change. We don't agree with him, obviously.
Because Verratti has more name than Locatelli. That's why he's not a good coach.
But listen, he made a wrong call there for our money. We were worried about that before this game. So this isn't even Monday night quarterbacking. If you guys want to go back to episode 39, we were talking about this because why? Not because we hate Verratti. It's because the team plays noticeably different when he's on the field. The midfield moves the ball slower. He holds it up. The movement off the ball doesn't seem as fluid. I know it's hard to blame one guy, but when the team's playing so well in the first 2 games, to change the midfield up that they were intertwining and playing fast with a high tempo. I don't know why you would do that.
And then when you see the first 2 games, Berardi make everything easy because he's in shape. The 3rd game, he don't do nothing right. Take him out.
Yeah, he was Berardi also, not just blaming Verratti. Berardi was the day where you could tell he was a second slow on his thoughts. He was dribbling too much, slow on the pass. When he could shoot, he was taking an extra touch.
He could not dribble some guy.
Yeah, he couldn't dribble.
And
it just sometimes you just have games like that, right? And he put Chiesa in, but we were calling for it, guys? At halftime, right? We were and then Chiesa again didn't come into the 80th minute? 78 minutes?
I don't know how late it was, but it was definitely late.
I was to say from the beginning, put Chiesa. Because you don't wait 90 minutes to see Berardi not play well.
There was a lot not to like about this game, right?
The second half was atrocious.
It was bad.
Austria took it to them. They were the better side.
It was bad. And not only that, when you manage to get to go up 2-0, you want to get another negative, you gave up a goal, right?
Listen, that was a
very, very nice goal.
That was a nice goal.
Yeah, but I mean, still, that was just.
But Austria did have a goal taken away too from VAR, right?
Yeah, it was offsides.
It was an offsides goal that got started.
I didn't see Cherby either.
No, they didn't. I don't think the defense. That's where I was going with that. I don't think the defense played that well. I really don't. I think you felt the loss of Chiellini there. I don't think Acerbi played that good with Bonucci.
Well, the good thing is I think Chiellini should be back for the next game, which is definitely a boost. Hopefully Locatelli plays because, like we said, the game they remind me of Juventus when Verratti plays. It's so slow, and it's just we need people to run and move, and Locatelli does that.
Here, Dom, if you go back to the screen. If you go back to the question marks, people that he might change for next game, you got Berardi, Chiesa, you got Verratti for Locatelli, and people are saying Pessina for Barella, and then Chiellini for Acerbi if Chiellini's healthy, and then Florenzi for Di Lorenzo. Those are really the.
And now you know what he's thinking. They're talking about Belotto to start Immobile. I don't see that.
That's absurd.
I don't see that.
No,
that's a waste.
So to me, Dan, so that was good that you ran that down. To me, that's too many changes. I wouldn't change that many.
Those are the ones up in the air.
I would.
Everyone else has a spot to me.
I tell you, I don't see even Pessina start. I see
I don't either.
Locatello
No.
start.
I don't see him starting either.
I honestly, what I would do is I would put Chiellini for Acerbi and I put Locatelli for Verratti, and that's it. I would, even though I love Chiesa, I would leave Chiesa because he comes into the game so fast, more than Berardi, and but I would use him quickly if I need to.
So
right?
we said that last week, right? We like him coming off the bench because he's got the speed and he puts pressure on the tired defense.
But you have two chances. If you want to play Chiesa, you can play in the place of Berardo in C.
You could.
He's versatile.
Yeah, you can.
Go ahead, Frank.
No, I was going to say, in terms of speed, though, to change the game, like, really, it's just Chiesa. We don't have anyone else that's going to bring that much speed to the game. That's what I don't like about our subs.
But we do have a lot of runners on the team, which is good.
We do, but I don't like if let's say we started Chiesa, right, which he deserves, he could start. He may do better for 90 minutes, right? He might make a difference. Then you're bringing in all guys that are like slow. They're slower. They're a little bit easier to
by
take.
the way, did you see that play Di Lorenzo was doing once? For a moment
when he went the 80 yards.
And that was late in the game.
That was
late in the game.
So
I wouldn't take Di Lorenzo out for Florenzi either.
I'm just saying he's healthy now, so like it's an option.
I think Di Lorenzo played pretty good.
Going back to what Frankie just said about Chiesa, yeah, you can start him for 90 minutes, but the way how hard he runs all the time, you're not going to get 90 minutes out of him, I don't think. I think they're going to sub him in the 70th minute.
Well, that's the question. Can he go 90 minutes, or if he start him, does he have to come out in 70 minutes? I think he can go 90 minutes.
I think he gives his all the time.
I don't know.
Chiesa.
No, my Chiesa, I don't even mind, because he came in during the game good with the right attitude.
Yeah, he knows his role.
But if he's in form, and you have to put Berardo Insigne like that, I don't know if it's a good idea, because if you start the Chiesa, could be break the game right away.
It's true.
He could. Well, the one thing Chiesa does do, if you start him, it puts pressure on their fullbacks, where they can't attack as much, right? Which helps our midfield. So if you're battling it again and go, okay, which team is going to win the midfield, it helps to keep their pressure on their defense, so they can't just join and beat you supremacy with extra people. I don't know, but I don't love the bench when you're looking at like Belotti and Berardi.
I guess the Belgium defense, I see Berardo too, because the defense from the Belgium, I think it's it's they hold. Berardi can kill them.
It's an old
Miele, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, bad job by all of us, because not one of us mentioned Spinazzola, who won Man of the Match again, and especially you, Frank. What the hell? I mean, you're his biggest fan.
That's like, you guys know that I'm Spinazzola's agent. He just doesn't send me his check yet. So
I mean, Spinazzola, every team in Europe wants him now, just based off this tournament. And he even said, "This is the best soccer I've played in my entire life." This tournament.
Listen, and this is what I said years ago when you guys were like,
excuse me. Even the Spinazzola, you know why he played well? Because he's in form. Yeah. And that's you have to take into consideration when someone is in form.
Oh, of course. That's what makes a difference, especially in these tournaments, right? Look at Mbappe. If he's in form, France probably has a different tournament, right? I mean, that's how these things are. But, I think Immobile, he might not have scored, but he brings a lot. Like, I would still call him closer to being informed than Belotti. Belotti, to me, did nothing. Only value he bought was when we were trying to hold off the 1-goal lead, and he got some fouls, right? Where he was
you know what people are saying? Oh, that play where he ran back into the slide tackle from the side.
I don't mind. I don't mind it being Mobile at all.
No, me neither.
So for center forward, if he has a pass, he can score.
Meanwhile,
but
Belotti,
he moves.
Belotti does that, the slide tackle from the side, chasing someone down. Meanwhile, he shanks a clear shot 30 feet wide, barely dribbles to the sidelines. Like, he's not the forward you need there. He's not what you want.
In fact, for the weakness of the team, I would say we have two weak, and we said this before the tournament. Center forward, right? And I think we're weak on the fullbacks, because I think after Spinazzola, there's a big drop off.
You wouldn't say that if Caputo was on the team, but they snubbed him. So.
Hey, I'd rather have Caputo than Belotti. At least because he can have a little Inzaghi moment and put the ball in the net. If he got that one,
Caputo touches the ball twice, he scores once.
if Caputo got that chance that Belotti shanked,
Yeah, but
he would have
don't
scored.
forget that we have one guy in there, Raspadori.
Yeah, but
He's not.
He didn't play that great his first game either, though.
No, ma he's in form. He's more.
Well, my question is though, Mancini keeps going back to Belotti though, right? Like, will he do it again? Like, if he needs a sub and he's going to take Immobile off, will he put Raspadori in, or is it I have to go to Belotti because so far that's what
he's not putting Raspadori in unless there's serious injuries. That's the only way he's going in.
As a technique, where Insigne is good. But he has to be informed. He has to move more than that.
Yeah.
Well,
If he's there like that, you better take him out.
His decision making isn't the best sometimes.
Insigne's good player. We know he is. But, like, can he try something other than a far post?
Oh, yes. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about that, Chris. Go ahead.
Like, he could have scored, and just always that finesse. It's beautiful when it happens. But
he did everything right. Got the ball on the 6-yard line and then tries to curl it far post.
It's sideways, Del Piero. Just Del Piero used to put it there.
But there's also there's different times, different positions where you take different shots. Like he tried that last game where he should have just shot on goal. Instead he tries to curl it in from 4 or 5 yards away and misses totally. Yeah. I mean, that's just, I don't know what, sometimes you got to be more than a one-trick pony, right? I hope one of them goes in, hopefully in the final to win the damn thing. But, like...
Listen, I can't blame him. I mean, you have Berardi on the other side who does the same exact thing.
Berardi had a very bad game because you could tell that he was slower in his movements. He couldn't dribble anyone. Like, he wasn't...
That's what you did see.
Yeah.
If they play like that, we can do without them.
Like we said, if they play this way against Belgium, they lose badly.
Oh, so, well... Yeah, I haven't been that impressed with Belgium either, to be honest.
You compare the wing, the Switzerland wing.
Oh, yeah.
And you compare Insigne with the Subutsu, como cazzo
Zuber.
Yeah.
I think De Bruyne,
De Bruyne, so going on the Belgium side, De Bruyne might play. Hazard's probably out 2 weeks the rest of the tournament.
He said...
Oh, they say that both they.
He said they're available, but they're not 100% fit.
I don't think Hazard's going to play. I think De Bruyne's going to play.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a coach, why would you tell anyone anything? I wouldn't tell them shit.
Listen, I don't care. I want all their best players to play. I don't want to beat their best players. I don't want to play,
For me, the biggest thing is Chiellini back against Lukaku.
Yes.
Well, but hopefully in form, right, Dan? Hopefully where he's not a step slow or where he's got a foul. But we all know if he has his game, he can hold.
Yeah.
Hey, Pod, Belgium's going to win.
Belgium's going to win.
Listen,
but that's been Pond's pick from the beginning is Belgium, so he's not going to back down now.
I think if De Bruyne doesn't play, which I think
I bet with you, Pod.
He's making bets with the fans.
I think he's going to play. I think if he doesn't play, Belgium's lost. I think he changes that team.
No, I don't. I think this game's going to be one of those really, really tight games, and someone's going to score on a header from a corner kick or something. If we don't play the way we did the first 2 games, I think it's just going to be one of those choppy type games. I hope it's not. I hope we regain some of that fluidity.
You know what? I hope Chiellini can play. That's it.
Yeah.
If he can play, okay.
And going back to what I said in the beginning of the podcast tonight, I do think the winner of the tournament comes from this game.
Yeah, I think that's not a hard.
Tom, go to the bracket. Right?
So you want to bring us through the bracket, Chris? Why you said that, and then that way people can't see.
I mean, so we got Belgium, Italy. I think those are the 2 of the better teams left, right?
They play on Friday.
Yeah, 2 games that still haven't been played tomorrow. We got England and Germany, which I have no confidence in England at all. I think Germany is going to go through on that game, even though England's home. What do we got? Spain, Switzerland. Mm-hmm. We just talked about that. Denmark, which is Dan's dark horse, he's pulling for him, right?
Denmark, I picked to win it all, so they're my team. Who dominated Wales, by the way, destroyed them. Yeah, which we were all expecting.
We all picked Denmark to beat Wales, yeah.
Denmark now plays Czech, right? Czech Republic, who upset Netherlands because another Juventus standout got a red card. De Ligt on he slipped and he got a handball on last man kind of situation, but they went down to 10 men and let up 2 goals. and they got knocked out early, so that was kind of an upset too. But it makes Denmark's road a little bit easier to the Final Four there.
Netherlands were not impressive, and they always like flake out and like I don't know, they're not.
Well, we
trusting.
said we had no faith in De Boer, right? And
I mean, he's going to get fired. He's not staying there.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Also, don't forget the Czech Republic played Italy as a friendly game before the tournament and lost like 4-0.
Exactly.
So this just shows you each game is different, right?
Yeah. So that's why I don't understand.
You know what I don't understand? Netherlands, right? The elite to play in the middle, and the right play on the right. Why he did that?
That's how he sets it up. I don't know. You got to ask the board that.
During the championship, the right put in the middle, and the elite to play on the right.
We don't know. I don't think. I think players don't like the coach.
The board think that the elite is better than the right in the middle. And the goal, when they throw him out, because he did the heads, there's a lot of people say the fault was nice, the lead. He was a bleed. He didn't go to help him.
Cover.
Listen, I'm not fully blaming him.
Because if you would go to help him, even he would have get to with his hand, he would not be the last man.
Yeah, I mean, if you have people not hustling back, well, that's a problem too.
And that's also a thing I think is the difference between most teams and Italy. Italy, you see them hustling and they're playing for each other and they're trying every single moment. You see other teams just not hustling back on defense all the time. I've noticed that at least.
Yeah, listen, I think Italy is it's going to come down to how long can Spinazzola outrun his competition, right? The people that are making a difference. I mean, Chiesa, those are the people that are going to make a difference. And Locatelli, can he keep playing with form? Those are the guys that probably are going to make a difference for Italy if they're going to go far.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention tomorrow's game. The other game is Sweden versus Ukraine, which.
And you know one thing. You notice one thing. You know the mistake Mancini did, bring in Verratti. Even the Jorginho didn't play well.
No, I don't think Jorginho played well at all.
Nobody played well besides Spinazzola.
They didn't do nothing.
And Spinazzola can still do more.
Barella, they say he's tied.
Well, he
Yeah, listen,
Barella should be there.
Barella might be someone else then. If he's tired, then maybe you sit him, right, and bring him in as a sub. Like if he can't give you what he gives you because he's not running, maybe you bring him in 30 minutes left in the game.
Really quickly for tomorrow's game, I know we're not doing predictions, but I don't know. Sweden or Ukraine? What do you guys got? Are you pulling for Malinovsky or Kulusevski?
So I believe more Malinovsky, but Sweden played pretty good. So I even though I was big on Ukraine, remember in the early rounds when we did our prediction,
I
was big on Ukraine.
I think the play style of Sweden suits Kulusevski better than the play style of Juventus. This is why you're seeing him playing better. So I think Sweden goes through because I think, first of all, Isak, like Pon said, they have, who's very, very good. Then you throw Kulusevski, who's actually in form and playing well. I think Sweden beats Ukraine. And Malinovsky's a little too inconsistent sometimes.
Yeah,
so
I also put in my bracket that Sweden wins this game, even though I know I was big on Ukraine in the brackets in the group stage.
And really quickly, do we all have Germany tomorrow versus England?
Yes, I do.
Surprisingly, I think we all do have Germany. But if you ask 4 other people on a totally different podcast, they're probably all picking England. I don't know, but we all feel stronger about. I mean, we're fans of Ghostins, so right there alone, we throw the
Ghostins will make the difference.
Advantage to Germany, but yeah, I see Germany coming through on that one.
Yeah.
So then we're saying the final 8 is going to be Belgium, Italy, Switzerland, Spain, which is already done. Denmark, Czech is done, and then we're saying Sweden, Germany.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to predict on who goes through from those games? Are we doing that later?
I mean, all right. You want me to predict? I'm predicting Italy, Switzerland, Denmark, Sweden. Germany.
I agree.
Dan, you just took mine. That's funny. Italy, Switzerland, Denmark, and Germany for me in the semifinals.
Yeah.
So that side, so we're saying, yeah, I mean that right side is just it's not as strong as the left side at all.
No,
it's
especially with
bad.
Holland going out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's. I mean, we spent 47 minutes on the Euros. Chris, do you want to touch up? Do you guys want to talk about transfers for a little bit? Anything that you've heard or read? I know transfers are.
It is a Serie A podcast, so let's do a little transfers.
The one I heard that I don't know if you guys heard. I don't even know the kid's name, but apparently Sassuolo is going after some. What's the kid? What team is it, Dan? Some young American in the MLS. $8 million they want for him. I'm going to see if I can look up his name.
I haven't heard that, so I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, let me see if I can look it up. You guys can talk about other ones, but $8 million they want for him or something. Let me see if I can do it. Look it up.
I look at transfers all week, and then when we get to the segment, I blank on all of them.
Well, Hakimi signed, right?
I mean, he's the PSG has a very strong.
You know what I read
strong
today?
offer for him.
You know what I read today? Juventus' son, Renato Sanchez.
Yeah, Renato Sanchez has been linked.
The Lille wants 30 million. I would have taken him right away.
Sounds low for him, doesn't it?
No, he played.
30 million is low. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what he wanted. That's all right.
So really quickly, I'm going to have to look this kid up, but Gianluca Busio, Busio.
Oh, I know him from Football Manager years ago. He's had potential for a long time. Like he's a known name in American soccer.
So apparently Sassuolo wants to spend around $6 million. They're trying to figure it out.
What position is he?
I think he's a midfielder, right?
I'm not even sure, honestly. But I'm going to look up videos of him because I'm interested now. You know, anyone
they should buy Zuber instead. Probably spend the same amount of money.
Busio, yes, it is Busio, I think.
Also, Italiano did get confirmed Fiorentina's coach. That did happen. He had to pay a $1 million termination.
Yeah, because he just signed that extension with Spezia, so he had to give some money back.
Yeah. Which
is a good move for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys think the Ronaldo rumors are going to start heating up since they're eliminated?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know if he's going to wait for after the tournament because he, wants all the light on him and doesn't want to share it with the tournament. So he might wait another week or 2 weeks when the tournament's over. But yeah, we're going to get some clarification in the next couple of weeks on what he's doing.
Well, from the end of the tournament to the beginning of the new season is what, like 4 weeks?
July 11th, I think the tournament ends. They got preseason and stuff, so.
Yeah, so, I mean, they'll probably go all the way up to September. It usually does after a tournament where it's like the last day, things are still happening.
Pond had a question in the chat. Who wants Ronaldo? We were talking about that the other day. I don't know, like, he's old, but he can still score, and the popularity he brings to your team, like Juventus' popularity shot up like crazy in 3 years because of this guy. So, like, it does say something.
It gets to the point too, right? Like philosophically, like we know they're not going to get a lot of money at this point. They might get $20 million and save the $31 million stipend, right?
Yeah.
But it really comes down to if you think he locks down your team too much, where you can't make the changes as a coach or whatever, but like. In terms of what he brings to your team versus the $20 million, like you're not making out financially. Like it's not about that at this point.
It depends what other teams do. If Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, then
what I heard today, they want to try to Ronaldo to make it 2 years, to extend the 1 year, so to lower the salary.
Maybe. And what? Some in another year, basically.
And other things I heard too. Ramos wants to stay in the Juventus.
Great.
I think Ramsey's going to be a difficult one because he's
You're stuck with him.
Really wants to stay. He's going to be like, oh, sorry.
And he makes $7 million. Who's going to pay that, right?
There was players that Juventus had during the Secco years where Secco ran the team, where they had guys that every year they were like, we got to sell this guy, and you never could. That's what's going to happen with Ramsey. You're going to wait till his contract runs out.
Another interesting note, our producer Dom just wrote in chat, Ronaldo could still be the top scorer of this tournament, the Euros. Dan had a funny stat. You said that there's more own goals this tournament than the leading scorer.
Oh, own goals is killing. It's killing.
There's 9 own goals this year.
Yeah, the leading goal scorer is 5. There's 9 own goals.
There's 9 own goals this tournament, and there's only been 9 own goals all the other 9 tournaments together.
That's Don made a joke in chat. Is Juve still paying Bobby Bonilla? That's a Mets baseball reference right there. They're paying Bobby Bonilla from the 80s. He still gets $1 million.
What about Piazza?
About who?
Piazza. I did explain it to him.
Yeah.
I explained it to him. You weren't listening.
That's fine.
I told him that he gets a paycheck every year for the Mets. It's a
Because the Wilpons were so cheap.
Any other transfers? Fiorentina did sign that Argentinian kid Gonzalez, Nico Gonzalez. Vlahovic, I keep hearing too, with Vlahovic to Juventus, but also Fiorentina wants a couple players, like in exchange, like they can maybe throw some players in to reduce the money.
Bernardeschi and
it's
Perin.
Hey, by the way,
yeah.
you know how much they value Rugani? 4 million.
I told you. What did I say last show? I said Rugani, let's be realistic, is worth $5 million. I was off by $1 million.
I think that's high.
So Rugani and Perin and money for Vlahovic.
Wait, what is it? Rugani, what?
Rugani, Perin, and money for Vlahovic.
See, that sounds good to me, but the thing is, when you just say "and money," like,
hey, if you're
I'm saying at least 30, $40 million.
If you think about 2 years ago, Rugani, Romagnoli, they were the future of the national team.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
That really fell off the map.
Supposed to be the future.
So would you do seriousness though? Would you do Perin, Rugani, and Bernardeschi and $25 million if you're Fiorentina?
Fiorentina is going to pay all this money for these contracts?
No.
They're not taking Bernardeschi.
To pay the salary.
They're not taking Bernardeschi. You're already getting greedy with them taking Rugani, right? So relax with that. I'm saying Perin and Rugani, $40 million for Vlahovic.
No, the reason I'm asking
would you take that?
Would you take what? What'd you say?
Rugani, $40 million for Vlahovic.
I'd rather have Locatelli.
Yeah, I would. Well, is it keeping me from getting Locatelli?
No. It has nothing to do with Locatelli.
Yeah, I would do 40 Perin and Rugani for Vlahovic.
Me too. I would do that. Yeah.
He's a forward, and he's what, 21, 22?
Bobby Bonilla.
He's still laughing
at Bobby Bonilla.
Anyway, there'll be more rumors heating up. The more that teams get knocked out of this tournament, the more you'll hear rumors and players.
Do you think there's any chance Juventus gets Gosens?
Listen, if they want to part with Demirel and swap them, then sure, why not?
Listen, would you rather have Sandro or Zuber? On one game, I'd rather have Zuber.
I'd rather have Pellegrini instead of Sandro. Just put him in there.
Which actually looks like they're going to give him a shot this year, Pellegrini. I think he's going to be on the roster.
I think he's gonna be on the training camp for 2 weeks, and they're going to loan him out. That's what I think is going to happen.
Well, another team is going to ask for him.
Listen to what I say. This is what I say. If Pellegrini is luck to play Juventus, he's going to be one of the best players in Juventus.
I think
he has a nice cross. That guy.
I think he's going to stay because the idea is to get Frabote out on loan or include him in a transfer. So I think Pellegrini is going to stay.
Well, Frabote could be a team that like a Fiorentina or someone's interested in too. But
Pon saying any players going to the teams coming up. I haven't heard anything about Venezia or any of those other teams. You know, the 2 other teams that got promoted.
Did you hear about Inter? He wants to get a Cassie, a parameter zero.
Wait, really quickly. What was the rumor you said before the podcast or the notes?
Who did Inter sign? Who did they extend?
Who?
Inter. What they do? You said
Cassie. You want to get
the other moves they made.
Ranocchia?
Ranocchia and D'Ambrosio.
They extended their contracts.
They signed before somebody else.
Inter's going to have a very short stay at the top.
I think Inter's falling.
Inter's going to have a very short stay at the top. Next year, they don't even make the Champions League. They lost Hakimi. They lost Who else did they lose? Somebody else.
They're just. I mean, they're Ashley Young. They're just not adding anything.
Ranocchia, look like Pinsoglio. Pinsoglio, I bet.
The best third goalie in the game.
He get himself laugh over here tonight.
Wasn't he voted like best
Son,
locker
he
room
never
guy?
played.
Wasn't he voted like best locker room guy?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Pisanio?
All right. Anyway, let's wrap this up, and we'll talk about transfers as we hear.
No.
Oh yeah, it's a good point.
Cool.
Our producer's telling us by the next Monday's show it'll be the semifinals. So why don't we predict the score? I guess since we're all picking Italy in the Belgian game except for Pond, who's in the chat, so he doesn't count. Just kidding, Pond.
He can pick it if he wants.
Yeah, you can pick it. Let's do some scores for the game.
I mean, it's so hard to say if players are playing a 3-1 Italy.
I'm going
1-0 Italy.
What'd you say?
2-1. He said 1-0. I'm saying 2-1 Italy in extra time though. It's gone.
Pond says 3-2 Belgium.
1-0
And
Italy.
I'm saying 2-0 Italy.
Okay.
All right, so we just jinxed them.
Yeah, we just screwed them. So Pond, your team's going to the finals.
Denmark walks over. Who are they playing? Who's Denmark playing? Czech Republic. They walk over Czech Republic. It's not even going to be close.
I disagree there. I actually disagree.
Czech Republic, Schick
is informed.
They lost with us.
I don't care. Denmark's going to be in the middle of that screen by the end of the tournament.
Czech, yes, it's Schick.
I think Denmark's going to win too.
Yeah, I think Pond is closer. It's going to be something like 2-1. It's going to be a closer game than people think, I think.
I think they're going to embarrass Czech.
Embarrass? Okay, so what's the score? Give me a score then.
Yeah, 3-1.
7-0? 8-0?
Nah, 3-1's embarrassing.
A lot of goals this tournament, man.
There
It's
is.
been nice. It's been fun.
Okay, so Spain, Switzerland, what are we doing on that one? We're all picking the same thing. This is not fun.
I'll say 2-1 Switzerland in extra time.
I guess. Okay. I mean, we're all pulling for Switzerland.
I'm going to say 3-1 Switzerland. Regular time.
We're total.
Spain.
3-2 Switzerland.
Okay, and then Pond saying 3-1 Spain. What other games are?
I don't know if we have to go individual games, but what do you guys think the final is as of right now? What would you pick?
Right now?
Would you all say Italy, Germany?
Get the hell out of it. Italy, Denmark, hands down. That's the final. I picked that in Italy, Denmark.
Okay. Frank, what would you say?
I'm actually going to say Italy, Germany because they have Gosens and we have Spinazzola.
Okay.
All right, let's wrap this up. Follow, guys, if you're listening on the podcast, or if you're listening on you're watching on YouTube. We have Twitch, YouTube. We have a Twitter. It's on podcast is on Google. It's on Apple. It's on Spotify. Throw us questions on Twitter. We'll try to answer them if you want. We'll answer them during the podcast. Whatever.
Yeah, Pond. We picked Germany, or some of us did. I picked Germany going to the final. I think Chris did too.
Everyone's picking. I'm picking Denmark. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, take it easy.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Good night.